Coming up, more performing artists cancel their shows at SeaWorld. CityWalk at Universal Studios is getting a facelift. And this month, day guests will be able to try their hands at FastPass Plus in the parks. We also try out your holiday cookie recipes that you sent in. All that plus Roundtable Rapid Fire, the top 10 threads of the month on this episode of the DIS Unplugged. This is the DIS Unplugged, episode 665 for the week of December 17th, 2013. The DIS Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and Adventures by Disney vacations. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Well, hello and welcome everybody to the DIS Unplugged here in the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm Dustin West and I am your host this week, and I'm joined at the table by my friends Sean Thompson, Kathy Whirling, Julie Martin, and back in the production nook we have Craig Williams.
On the keyboard.
Oh. Playing those slow jams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, again, welcome everybody to the show. A few changes this week, obviously. First of all, I wasn't even supposed to be here.
By the way, I don't want to be here, he says.
Last week was supposed to be me and Pete's last show of the year. We had gone out to California for the Adventures by Disney Backstage Magic that was happening, but his back wasn't feeling all that great, so we ended up coming back. And again, he's having complications with that, and hopefully that gets better. None of us want that complication in his life right now, so we really, really hope that, that starts getting better for him. And, he's got plans in the works to make that happen. Also, as you'll notice, I'm not Teresa Eccles. Apparently...
Less facial. Teresa has less facial hair.
She does. And she apparently also had an apron... An apron and a wig planned or something? Or no, you were talking...
No, she didn't have a wig planned. Oh, okay. She was going to use her normal hair, but we were talking about pretending to be her and wearing a wig in place of her.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Teresa, I'm not wearing an apron. That was a last-minute, decision. I just didn't have one to...
I didn't either.
But we hope you feel better.
Yeah,
Yes.
She's...
a horrible sickness is just running rampant through her house right now.
Yeah, her whole family has the plague or something like that. Some death illness or something.
Well, I don't think it's a death illness.
Okay.
I think everyone's okay. They're just sick.
Right.
They're all part of the bucket club.
Oh.
Which is fun to think about
I bet
when we have cookies.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad she's not here because I'm on grandma watch. My grandchild is due any day now, and I don't want to be sick and say, hey, I can't be there.
That's cool.
So,
well, we hope she feels better.
yes.
Yes.
She's in
Get well
chat.
soon.
She's watching.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's well enough to be in chat, huh?
Yikes.
I'm just messing with you. Well, we have a really interesting show today. Of course, like I mentioned at the top of the show, we have your recipes that you've been sending in for the last couple weeks. And these are holiday cookie recipes. And we're going to get to that later in the show. So I think that's going to be a nice little twist to end the year. That'll be fun. But before we get to that, we do have some housekeeping. I have at least one thing that I want to mention. I know some other people have some stuff. Starting in the new year, we are going to be moving the time of the show. We're going to be going at 2 p.m. instead of 1 p.m. Yeah, that's it.
Everyone will have to tape General Hospital because they'll be missing it. But it's worth it.
But now I don't have to miss days of our lives.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
revolves around soap operas.
starting in the new year. Yeah, 2 p.m. instead of 1 p.m. live every Tuesday. Sean, I know you have something you want to talk about.
Yeah, actually, I just want to mention our brand new shirts. So in the DIS shop, we just launched new hashtag shirts. So the design of the shirt is at the DIS, so it's kind of a Twitter-related kind of social media thing. Yeah. And then there's a speech bubble with a whole bunch of different Disney-related hashtags.
It's really cool.
It is really cool. There's Disney ones, there's Disboards ones. All the hashtags are kind of related to like trip planning and stuff like that. So it's available in white and black. And it's in pre-order right now from December 15th up until January 15th. So we're accepting pre-orders for a month to get everyone included so that they can put their orders in. And then after that, we'll have them printed and they will be shipped no later than February 15th. So this is kind of a long-term thing. This isn't before Christmas or anything. But I'm really excited about them. They're really cool designs.
Yeah, they are.
The printing quality is fantastic. So this is exciting. We'll have links to all that in the show notes page. Okay. And we'll talk about it when we come back in the new year. But pre-orders up until January 15th. So
yeah, you guys are really going to like this design if you haven't seen it yet. Definitely go check it out. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything for housekeeping?
I do.
Okay.
I have two. One, I want to get up on my soapbox for a minute.
Please.
But last week I went to the doctor and had 2 precancerous spots burned off my face from being out in the sun. And I thought I was the sunscreen queen, always telling people to put on your sunscreen, but I guess I wasn't as diligent as I should have been. So, they're in the process of healing now. But I saw somebody mention on the DIS boards, should you wear sunscreen down here in the wintertime? You should wear sunscreen down here all the time. Yeah. And if you're out in the sun anywhere, you should be wearing sunscreen. In my case, it was precancerous. It's good. If you think you have spots, go get them checked out. It took all of 5 minutes for them to do the procedure. So
you can't even tell. Like I would have.
Well, the scab is starting to fall off now. She's there. Oh, it's going to turn black. Huh? She goes, you don't have any social activities, do you?
Just making cookies.
It's only Christmas.
But it just looked like a scab, and it's been a week now, and they're already starting to come off. So I'll get down off my soapbox, but wear your sunscreen.
That's really good advice, which I should follow, by the way.
Yes, I mean, I'm always telling people to do it, and like I said, I was surprised, but. If you have a spot and you're not sure what it is, go to the doctor and they can tell you, if there's something wrong with it or if it's just a spot. But don't guess. I was lucky. Mine was precancerous. And my second thing that I just wanted to mention is a good friend of the podcast and a listener, Kevin John Jabinski, yesterday unveiled his Hatbox Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Painting, I guess, at Downtown Disney, at the Art of Disney. So if you're in Downtown Disney, go look at it.
It's really incredible.
It
really is.
And he's going to have prints and everything going to come along. But to see him yesterday, he's this big, tough guy, and to see his voice like quivering, this was like a dream of his. That, as a kid, drawing Disney and now here he's a Disney master artist. So congratulations to Kevin John, and buy his works when they come out.
Can you imagine being a Disney fan for as long as he has been and finally getting your artwork in the Art of Disney stores? Yes. I mean, that's just really cool.
It was just I have the video up on my page. He has it up on his, but just you can see the quivering in his voice. He was just so excited he didn't know what to say. And it's like, how neat is that something you've worked all your life for now was realized. So congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
My housekeeping has to do with a huge family moment that we had over the weekend, and Anna's boyfriend Travis asked her to marry him.
Wow.
In Epcot, right in front of the Mexico Pavilion. That's where they met the first time.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Yes, over 2 years ago now.
That's cool.
He had invited all of us to come, her family and his. Everyone flew in. And she has a really good friend who used to be a manager at Epcot, and now she's over at Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom. She helped Travis orchestrate everything. Anna thought she was going to a commercial filming for tequila. Like that was going to be before the park opened. And she was like so excited. We told her, dress nice, you might be on TV, so she would look nice in her photos. And so we all hid inside of the pyramid. And after he had proposed and Kristen was there taking photos of them, she sort of waved us all out, so we all came out and surprised her, and it was just really incredible and just truly magical. Yeah. I've never seen anyone, get engaged besides myself.
Yeah.
And I guess if you randomly walk up on somebody in the theme park, when that's happening, it's probably pretty cool to witness. But that it was our family was just so incredible.
The pictures were great. It looked like like everything worked out perfectly. And
her ring is gorgeous.
Yeah.
They are super happy. Now, Corey's been fresh. He texted him today. It's been 72 hours. You need to pick a date.
Wow.
But he's just teasing, of course.
Yeah. So she fell for it, huh? She totally...
Oh, yeah. She's kind of like me. It's easy to pull things over on her. So, but it was just
that's
really
so
nice to
cool.
be included, that he trusted us with this sort of a secret, and
Yeah.
we can't wait for him to be a part of our family.
that's
I'm getting
nice.
my first bill. I'm so excited. It's a brother-in-law.
It's like it
Most
costs
people aren't
money.
excited about bills.
No, BIL. Yeah, so congratulations, Anna and Travis.
Yes, congratulations. That's awesome.
It's exciting.
Cool. Anybody else have any more housekeeping?
Yeah, I got.
Wow.
There's another show that people from the DIS make. It's called the Disneyland edition of the DIS Unplugged.
Yes, indeed.
This week on that show, Dizzer Allison Henry returns with a trip report from her holiday vacation to Disneyland that the team helped her plan over a couple segments. So if you didn't listen to all of those, then go back, listen to those, and then listen to the new one. And the team also shares their hits and misses for 2013. And they were all very happy while recording. I believe they all had a special holiday drink with them. So it should be an interesting episode.
We should have done that.
Yeah, why didn't we do that?
I don't know.
I should have made a rum cake. I can get drunk off my rum cake.
I have very special diet soda.
I want eggnog.
Me too.
Special eggnog. Adult eggnog.
It's not adult beverage, but that's okay. Cool. Well, thanks for mentioning that. Again, the Disneyland edition is every Thursday. You can go to disunplugged.com and visit their show notes page. You can also go to iTunes and subscribe to the Disneyland edition of the DIS Unplugged. So thanks for mentioning that, Craig.
Yeah.
If that does it for housekeeping, I do believe Sean has some news stories for us.
All right. Well, the first news story is kind of a saga that's been going on forever. So I will just start with the first of three news stories that are kind of connected.
Yeah.
Cheap Trick and Trisha Yearwood have canceled their SeaWorld performances after the Blackfish backlash.
Right.
So this has been in addition to the ones that have already been announced, Bare Naked Ladies, Willie Nelson, and Heart. So that makes 5. Now, of course, we've just learned recently that REO Speedwagon has canceled, so that was the 6th band that's canceled. And then yesterday, I think it was announced that Martina McBride also canceled, and she actually issued a statement on her Facebook page. I've decided that given all the issues that have been aired recently, that time isn't right for me to play at SeaWorld. I have canceled my scheduled performance. So that's what she put on Facebook. So I think that makes 7 of the original artists that have canceled at this Brews. I forget the name of
It's like
the festival.
Brews,
Barbecue and-
booze, something.
Not much of a festival anymore.
So I think most people would think that SeaWorld would take this and kind of learn from it and maybe kind of edit what they're doing and maybe even cancel the concert because this is like a publicity nightmare for them. But instead, they went and they announced this statement. They released it yesterday. While we're disappointed a small group of misinformed individuals was able to deny fans what would have been great concerts at SeaWorld, we respect the band's decisions. Martina McBride is canceled, and we expect that other artists will be targeted in this campaign. The bands and artists have a standing invitation to visit any of our parks, to see firsthand or to speak to any of our animal experts, to learn for themselves how we care for the animals and how little truth there is to the allegations made by animal extremist groups opposed to the zoological display of marine mammals. We continue to book other bands and artists as we plan for another great Bands, Brew, and Barbecue event in 2014. We'll announce our full lineup when all artists have been confirmed.
No one is going to be confirmed.
So they just went the opposite direction and just said, oh, no, we're doing everything right. We'll get
Yeah.
more people.
You guys are misinformed.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? I feel bad for SeaWorld because, first of all, how do I know that these people even bothered to look into the issue? Their managers or somebody said, hey, look, there's this hot topic out there. Maybe you shouldn't go. The second thing...
That's true, because when was the last time Trisha Yearwood was in a news story? You know?
Well, she's busy with Food Network now.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I mean? It's like, how do I know that they actually did that?
Yeah. I hope that the artists actually watched it for themselves and made their
Yeah.
decision.
I would
and
hope
didn't
so
make
too,
the
but you know what?
decision
It doesn't
on
even
someone
take
else.
that much. I mean, there's so much buzz. I think Joan Jett even asked them to stop using one of her songs. She wasn't part of the lineup,
Yeah.
but she just contacted them and said, stop using my song.
Did they use one of her
I don't know
songs
the
in publicity or
detail.
something?
I don't know if it
Okay.
was commercial or if
Yeah.
it was in one of the shows or
Yeah.
something.
It's part of Shamu Rocks, I believe, in the summertime.
Oh.
It's the nighttime show.
Love rock and roll.
Is it
Sorry.
that?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah,
weird.
it is.
There's whales dancing to that?
They like get the audience wound up for it.
Okay.
You know what? Whether they're informed or not, you know, these musicians and artists, you know, they're listening to their fans.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's
See, I have a problem with that. I don't know that they are listening to their fans. you know what our job is like. If somebody in our company said, no, we're not going to do that, yes, we can have a dialogue about it, but sometimes somebody has to say, okay, we're not going to do this. And I think a lot of this, plus the other part that bothers me with this is, do I really care what Trisha Yearwood thinks?
I ask myself that question every morning.
You know what I mean? It's like we all have people on Facebook that like us, but I don't wake up in the morning and think, now I'm going to get up on my soapbox, even though I just said, about skin cancer. It's like you still have free will and you can go do whatever you want. And these people, to me, do not dictate how I should live my life.
Right.
Have you guys seen the movie Blackfish?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I wasn't here when you guys talked about it.
It's on Netflix, actually, so you can see it there. I just watched it the other night. And I think...
I cried.
Yeah. It's pretty moving. It makes a fairly strong case. I won't ignore the fact that it is essentially propaganda.
It's one-sided.
Yes,
it is one-sided, and I'll admit that. I really will. But at the same time, the case that they present is really strong.
It is.
There's footage. There's case studies.
Yeah.
There's things.
One of the main things that they say that really got to me is... obviously, the taking of the babies from the mothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
They show footage from the late 70s and early 80s.
It's horrible.
When
they scream. They literally scream like they are in pain because their child is taken away. Just like any of us would. Mothers, if their child was taken away. And probably fathers, too. But they talk about how there are no instances of orcas killing humans in the wild.
Yeah.
Not one.
And the whole thing about the male's dorsal fin,
They say.
whatever.
So the documentary says. But
the huge thing for me was also the lifespan.
Yeah.
They showed that they have scientific fact that in the wild, the whales can live fairly similar to humans. The women can live up to like 100, and I think men probably in their 50s,
Right.
60s, it said. But then they show these series of clips of SeaWorld employees saying, oh, no, they live to be 35.
Yeah.
That they live shorter in the wild because they don't have the veterinary care that they do here, which is, I mean, they can't get around that. That's a lie.
I'm a whale lover. I'm sorry. Save the whales all the way. And I do not believe that these mammals, should be in captivity at all.
I want to know how many people get close enough to the orcas in the wild to actually kill them besides the boats that drive up beside. I'm not saying that I'm pro SeaWorld,
right.
but
you shouldn't be in the water with them anyway.
Yeah, and I watched it as well after I found out that it was on Facebook. I didn't like that it was Netflix, not Facebook. Yeah. Sorry.
Service. My Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with what they were doing. I didn't like how SeaWorld was lying about some stuff because their whole, as they said in the article, they're talking about how they care for the animals while they're there. And yeah, they do care about the animals while they're there, but they were brought in really terrible ways. And then, the whole reason that Dawn, the trainer that was most recently got killed is it partly because of the way that they try to train them, and that she didn't give him fish afterwards, and then he started to get all angry, and then moments later he pulls her in by the arm. And
I would honestly think that these whales, because they are such, they're such a family, they, every pod is totally different from any other pod.
Yeah.
I believe they probably start to view these trainers as their family, like as a whale too. And so, but obviously you can't play with a 130-pound woman if you weigh 5,000 pounds, I mean, that's just not.
And they discuss that a lot, actually, the family aspect and how different it is when they see a family out in the wild that are a group. They even described it as almost different. They speak differently. Like they notice certain things in these family groups.
Yeah.
And then they take them and they split them all apart and they put them together however the higher ups in the company want to put them together.
And that's why Tilly was so abused, because the two females he was with when he was very young, he was not a part of their original pod, so they beat him up and abused him.
And they didn't speak the same language, the same dialect, so he had no way to communicate with them.
I admit that SeaWorld does a lot of good for a lot of things. Yeah. And I think that deep down, I mean, they really show that they care for the animals and they want, but I think that some of the things they've done, I don't know, this is tough. And I think that PR-wise, they really took the wrong direction in this. Yeah. I think that instead of taking this standpoint, I think a long time ago they should have just flat out said, you know what, there's stuff going on, we're going to try to fix this.
In the release for that, they said animal activists or extremists. They never mentioned the film, and it's because they have yet to find a way to approach this documentary, know, and
I honestly think good for these bands. You're bringing awareness to something that people are concerned about, and you are in a position to bring attention to it.
Yeah, I feel the same
You know,
way. Yeah.
I mean, I really, I don't wake up and say, oh, what would Trisha Year would think of my outfit today? But I like that they are bringing light to a situation that, in my opinion, it's very dear to my heart and very important.
I agree.
Yep.
We'll move on, though, because
Yeah.
Teresa's getting upset because we're bringing her down. Such a sad story.
She's very emotional right now.
She's very emotional.
She needs to hear something more uplifting.
Yes. So, all right. So our next news story is all about the big changes coming to Universal Orlando CityWalk. So last week, Craig and I went to a press event at CityWalk where they kind of announced some of the new changes that are coming, and they're mostly all food related. They did announce that they're changing up the studio store, mainly kind of like a design. They're making a new facade, kind of making it bigger.
Yeah.
But it's staying in the same location. Then some of the food stuff that they're actually changing. The Starbucks is actually going to move and get a much bigger location. It's going to be put on the first floor.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Yes.
And the concept art looks really nice. We have a full blog, so we'll link to that for sure.
Is that what they're building right in that area? Is that
That's going to go next to Bubba Gump. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
Starbucks. Then there's going to be a Cold Stone and a Menchie's. So Cold Stone is kind of the regular ice cream.
Yeah,
Menchie's
Menchie's
is
is
frozen
frozen
yogurt.
yogurt.
Yeah. So I think those are both good additions. Cold Stone's going where the endangered species store was. And then Menchie's is going to be where the candy store along Lombard Boulevard is.
Yeah. So up in that area, the two things that are definitely going for sure are cigars, as well as the candy store, and then inevitably TCBY is going to get taken out of there as well too, because
You don't need two
You don't
frozen
need
yogurt.
two. Yeah, you don't need three ice cream places.
But
in general.
TCBY is better than Menchie's.
I've never even heard of it.
completely
Oh, no, I love
disagree. I love
Menchie's.
Menchie's.
I mean, I like them both, but Menchie's
just-
does not have
I get
my
Menchie's
fabulous
rewards.
cheesecake
You
flavor.
get free ones after. And their spoons are cute.
They are cute.
Yeah.
My kids like Menchie's.
Yeah, I love Menchie's.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Really?
It's just the traditional frozen yogurt where you go and you kind of get the
Oh.
cup and then you build it, and then they have toppings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of a really big thing that's popping up in California. That's where it's based out of, and it's hitting big in Orlando too. And they do kosher frozen yogurt and vegan frozen yogurt and all the stuff that people care about, instead of just
That's all I care about.
killing your animals.
Kosher
and-
vegan food.
Yes,
Kosher
exactly.
vegan food. Wow.
But
Yeah, by the way, all of this is kosher and vegan.
Yeah, yes, it is.
I'm sure.
And allergen free. So just to run over the other ones.
Dust.
You need water. Breadbox is coming to the current TCBY location, which is going to be like a sandwich shop. It looks pretty good. They talked about making fresh bread every day and kind of different things like that. It looks kind of like an upper scale sandwich shop.
craft sandwiches.
Yes, craft sandwiches. The Red Oven. I'm sorry, I skipped over Pranzo, which is, they're not for sure on the name. They said that it might change, but it's just kind of like an upscale Italian restaurant. They're going to make their own pasta and stuff like that.
Are they getting rid of the Pasta More place?
They haven't announced it yet, but it's inevitable
Probably.
that it's going to get rid of
Yeah.
it, because they've already replaced the quick service of Pasta More with the Red Oven Pizza Bakery that Sean's about to talk about.
Yeah, which is the next one. So that's kind of, I really like this. We got actually a nice little tour of it. It's already open. It's kind of like a quick service, but a little bit more upscale. You go in, you order your pizza, they make it right on the spot in the big oven. And then they kind of bring it to you. You go sit down.
It's
Nice.
very reminiscent of like Be Our Guest. You order in one section, go sit down, and then eventually they bring your pizza to you. But they have this just giant red oven that can get up to 1,400 degrees, and it's just kind of like right off to the side, so you can see all your pizzas going in. There's a little window you can even go
I
up
love
and
that.
look in through.
It was
to
pretty
see
funny.
it.
We were on the tour, and they took us like right behind inside the restaurant itself, like where the people were actually making the pizzas. And the whole time I think, oh my god, this is a health code violation. Like, why are we back here? Like, I could have reached for the pepperoni, but I don't know.
I was just sneezing on everything. So I guess
Sneezing, running his hand through all the dough. And then just to run through the last ones, Antojitos is a new Mexican restaurant that's going to be opening. It's kind of looks like a church. Hot Dog Hall of Fame is going to open up, and it's basically a hot dog shop where they have a whole bunch of different types of hot dogs. I think the man said like 8 different varieties.
12 different varieties of hot dogs that all are based off of a different city or ballpark around there.
There's
So-
absolutely no ketchup on any of the hot dogs, which I support.
And the interesting thing about
yeah,
it
mustard only.
Yeah.
is that the guy who's creating it, his name's Steve Schuster. He's also was in charge of the designs for the Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex Cafe. So now we've been talking a lot about how Disney people are coming over to Universal, and a lot of buzz has been going around about how now even restaurants that used to be at Disney are starting to go over to Universal as well, too.
So will there be an animated Sears Tower, like, yelling at you? Or?
Well, there's going to be a giant Jumbotron outside, and you can sit in some of your favorite ballpark seats and watch the Jumbotron.
I just want the hot dog. Skip all that stuff. The man was really funny. He had like this weird singing pickle. Every press event we go to, there's some weird character. Like when we went to the Downtown Disney one, there was this Lego guy, and he was like super into Legos. He had like a lab coat on and was like going crazy about Legos. And then this man had a singing pickle. It was very strange.
So it sounds like they're focusing a lot. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's one more, and this is the one I'm so excited about. It's called Cowfish, and it's a fusion restaurant. It's going to be sushi and burgers. So they're calling it Sushi, Burgers, and Bar. And it's actually originating in North Carolina. And the two guys were awesome. They're like these kind of young, kind of cool guys that love sushi. And their concept,
hamburgers, apparently.
Well, their concept was that they love sushi, but their wives or coworkers necessarily didn't. So they wanted a place where they could go. And
still bring them. That's a good idea.
To please everybody, right?
Yeah.
So you can have sushi, but then burgers, and then they're going to have craft beer. And it's just a really cool concept.
Yeah. And like originally when they built the restaurant, the guy who was running the burger joint in the whole establishment, he took down a wall just so they could actually put the sushi on with it and then combine two restaurants together. And their big selling point that they want to do is called burgushi. And so they'll take like burger items and put it in sushi rolls, or then they'll take like sushi items and they'll put it on sandwiches. So apparently it's hugely popular.
So Corey could have an uni burger.
I just want a patty-sized roll that's thinly sliced.
I'm so excited for this. I think it's going to be great. They talked about the different kind of things they're going to offer in terms of the beer selections. They're very into like local breweries. So the two they have are currently, I think, one in Raleigh, one in Charlotte, somewhere in North Carolina.
Yeah, one in the Charlotte airport, I believe, and the other one's just a store
but they
in
use
a
like
Raleigh mall.
Local North Carolina breweries, so they're looking at stuff down here. And I just
Orlando
think
Brewing.
I think it's a great idea. It's going to be a
Partner
fun
with them.
place. Yeah.
So it sounds like they're focusing a lot on the quick service kind of, or at least what you're talking
Well,
about
there's
here.
a balance. I think a couple of them are sit-downs. I think the Mexican restaurant, and then definitely that Pranzo Italian food will be sit-down. But
We don't have a lot of really great Mexican restaurants in Orlando, so
Yeah.
if this one could be good, that would be great.
You definitely have to commend them. There's a wide variety of different things. Ice cream, coffee, Italian.
Some really cool changes you're mentioning. All right.
And then just the timeline. They said the summer of next year. So
Okay.
Yeah.
that'll be good.
Indeed.
Julie's going to sneeze.
I didn't. I stopped myself.
All right. So our last news story is about Disney's Animal Kingdom, and they're conducting a FastPass Plus test later this month. So a test of the FastPass Plus system will take place at Disney's Animal Kingdom beginning on December 18th, so which is tomorrow. Once guests get to the park, they will be able to make up to 3 FastPass Plus selections for that day. There are kiosks available around the park to use, located near Cali River Rapids, Primeval Whirl, and Expedition Everest. And another one near Disney Outfitters.
Okay.
FastPass Plus will be available for the following attractions: Finding Nemo the Musical, Cali River Rapids, Dinosaur, Expedition Everest, Festival of the Lion King, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Primeval Whirl, It's Tough to Be a Bug, and then the character greetings at Adventurers Outpost. Paper tickets will not work in the FastPass machines during this test. Magic bands are not needed for the test. Off-site guests will be able to use their theme park tickets instead. All 3 of their FastPass Plus choices will need to be made at a kiosk, and if any changes need to be made throughout the day, guests will need to revisit the kiosks.
Okay, so the regular machines will be turned off.
They will be off.
Right.
And
yes.
everybody that has any kind of media, whether it is a Magic Band and you haven't done it yet, or if you have a regular one, like
Card,
even if it's a
an RFID.
one-day ticket or an annual pass, you just go up, tap it to the sensor, and it says...
On the kiosk, you make your selections. Now, a detail that I'm not sure about that Kathy actually brought up was whether or not this is just happening on the 18th, so tomorrow.
Yeah,
or
for
if it
2 different
starts,
versions. Yeah.
Or if it starts on the 18th, then it's going to kind of be an ongoing thing. We're not sure of that yet.
We're not sure.
I don't know what they could find in a one-day test.
I know this is really a test to see how this is going to work for forever, right? So
Right.
this is how it's going to work. When the paper FastPass machines go away, this is going to be the only option.
So this takes away the whole controversy of double dipping with your
Yeah.
FastPass
And it
Plus
allows
and paper.
regular day guests to use this FastPass
This
Plus.
is great because, for one, getting your ticket linked to your My Disney experience, then adding FastPass Plus is a hassle.
It is.
It really is. And I don't know if you need to do that before you use this kiosk, but it sounds like anybody with any kind of ticket media can just
Right.
go up and click, and you have your fast passes for the day, almost like you would with the machine. So it sounds like, obviously it's better to plan it out in advance, but if you don't know how to do that or you're having technical difficulties with it, you have an option at least now.
Well, if you're an off-site guest, yes, this is great because now you can get your 3 in one location for the day, and they're not going to get a magic band. They're just going to use their ticket. So it's a test. It's a good time to do this to see how this is all going to work.
That means they're one-day tickets now. They're not printing paper anymore. They're probably all plastic with RFID in them.
And actually, right now, if you have a regular paper ticket, you can go to any will call. I don't know what the word is. Any window.
Yeah, ticket
and
window.
have it switched over to a plastic RFID
And I
card.
think, most of them now are RFID tickets.
Yeah. That's got to get expensive for them printing one-day, one-park tickets for, that are plastic.
But it allows people to use this billion-dollar project.
If this works, this is exactly what FastPass Plus needs. And I know this has been part of their plan the whole time, but it just hasn't rolled out yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm interested for them to get the ratios right, because it's going to take a lot of balancing and to kind of finessing that, because you need to have enough left over for day guests and then kind of space them throughout the day so that people can still have access to them. I don't know, are they going to disappear the first 2 hours of the park?
Well, I mean, they were already doing that with the legacy machines. The older machines that already existed, they had a certain amount allotted.
Oh, sure.
And you saw those roll through a lot quicker than they used to. So I think it would be the same here.
There's an added aspect of having a certain amount of fast passes already booked by people already doing it, like months in advance.
Right.
So
Well,
there's
it's
going to
be interesting, too, because in one of the articles that I read, they're going to tell you about this test when you go through the Auto Plaza.
Okay.
But if you're on a bus, I don't know how they're going to tell you this, or, as a day guest, how many people are actually going to know that this test is going on?
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of cast members there.
Probably a lot of signage as well.
Yes.
There's probably going to be one posted at every FastPass machine area.
If you need to get a fast pass, you have to go to this
They'll
location.
tell you, go over here,
Right.
use your plastic ticket to go to one of the kiosks.
And then they also, one of the questions was, well, then how do I know what I have a fast pass for? And the part I thought was a little funny or whatever was, they're like, well, take a picture of it. So Disney's assuming that everybody has a smartphone, although they did say that they will have paper there.
To write it down?
To write it down. So
Like a golf
yeah.
scorecard or something?
I want to go over and see how this works. Like if I say, oh, geez, I don't have a smartphone, how do I do this? And see how they... I like when Disney does something that's a little bit different or like a problem and how Disney solves it. That's one of the things I really like about Disney. So I want to go over and see what they do.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
I'm glad they're doing it now.
I want it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the news.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Sean, for that. Good news stories. We're going to move on to Roundtable Rapid Fire, and I do believe I'm going first, correct?
You are going first.
I've got a pretty quick one, though Sean says he might have some things to add to this. Beaches and Cream will begin accepting reservations on December 18th, which is all new because, of course, that always used to be one that you just walked right up to. And it's a very small restaurant.
It's really small
But, yeah, starting tomorrow, they're going to be accepting reservations. I know you had some more information.
Well, the only thing I heard, and I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but because it is so small inside, they're only accepting reservations of 4 or less because they're smaller tables for 4 tops. So if that means if you have a party of 5 or more, then you're going to have to book 2 different reservations because they can only accept 4 people at a time per reservation.
Right.
So I don't know how that's going to work. Like, what if you get one for like 5 and then one for 5:15? I don't know how it's going to work, but that's just what I heard because it's such a small area. So we'll have to see how that goes.
And then I also heard, there's like a counter that you can go to. Like, are they going to leave that open so that walk-ups
For walk-ups?
could at least go to the
hope
counter?
so.
I would really hope so.
So
I've got a feeling. I mean, this is a very popular restaurant. It has a fan following. I have a feeling like it could potentially be booked up a lot because there's so little availability for it. The cool thing about Beaches and Cream for me was that I could pretty much always walk up and maybe, wait like 15, 20 minutes. I could go to hang out at the pool or whatever, do something, walk around the Otter Beach Club and, or sit at the bar there if you're by yourself or just like 2 of you. So this is going to make it a lot more complicated getting into Beaches
it's
and
sort
Cream.
of sad because, like, if you were walking through Epcot and you're there, like, oh, hey, let's go over to Beaches and Cream for ice cream or whatever. You can't do that now.
Yeah. And, it's, oh, God, I was going to say something and then
It left
just left my mind. That is sad.
Well, I'll just say this. Usually, Beaches and Cream was kind of the excuse you gave at the gate at Beach Club to
Maybe
go
that's why they're
park
doing
there.
this.
You would say, "Oh, I'm going to eat at Beaches and Cream," and they can't check for a reservation number because you can't make a reservation. So
Very
that's
true.
what you would say. So I don't think that's the complete reason. I think you could probably still get away with that, but it is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the reason they're doing this. I think the reason they're doing this is because they want it in that My Disney Experience system.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah.
right.
They want it to be a part of that system. But, if they're going to do that, that one's just on the edge of quick service / counter. I mean, full service. And, they're not going to make reservations for, fast food locations, but this one's a little different. So I think we're going to see it becoming a little more difficult to get into Beaches and Cream. Cool. So that's my rapid fire. Who's going next?
Sean.
All right, so last week the 50th anniversary edition Blu-ray came out for Mary Poppins, and we have a full review of the actual edition on our blog. The movie looks fantastic. I'll just paraphrase the review. The movie looks fantastic. The special features are kind of lackluster.
Really?
I would think for a 50th anniversary edition, they would have kind of stepped it up and done some cool stuff. There's only 2 new things. There's kind of an animated karaoke sing-along thing, which is it's designed really well. It's really kind of pretty to watch, but it doesn't appeal to me really. I'm not
I
gonna
want
sit there and sing.
documentaries. I want special
You could just
features.
sing along with the movie.
Well, that's the thing, and the other special feature is kind of just a promotion for Saving Mr. Banks. It's an interesting interview. It's between Jason Schwartzman and Richard Sherman, who plays Jason. Schwartzman plays
Right.
Richard in the movie. So, I mean, it's interesting. They have a nice conversation. They do give some insight back on the original filming of Mary Poppins. But overall, I expected more. But the movie looks great, so I think it's worth getting it just for that. And then I just want to mention that this week we'll have some Saving Mr. Banks stuff going up on the blog as well, a full review, and maybe some other stuff. So, because that comes out next week, the 20th.
Yeah.
I guess that's this
Friday.
week.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
So excited for that.
And I'll add to your story that now for a limited time in Epcot, you can get the poster for Mary Poppins, and on the backside is Saving Mr. Banks. And I'll save everybody a lot of time and aggravation because when we went over there yesterday, they just said in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So we walked through all the shops, but here you have to get in line to see Mary Poppins. And they had a line that doubled back, and you had to wait until I think they could have done that a little bit differently.
I was
but-
surprised to see that you had to take a picture with them
Yes.
and be in line to get the poster.
Yes.
Yeah. They also have a really cute kind of cutouts. I don't know what the word is. It's just like a little kind of souvenir that you take away with you.
The autograph card?
Yeah, the autograph
Yeah.
card. It's of Mary Poppins' tape measure, the yellow one that says practically
Yeah.
perfect in every way. I think it's cute. It's a nice souvenir, but you have to wait in that huge long line.
Yes.
But I want the poster really bad, so I might do it.
I think the person that is Mary Poppins in Epcot came up with that idea. It's just, I want more people to see me.
Yeah.
Well, they always look so terrible,
They always.
especially after seeing the Mary Poppins and Burton Disneyland.
Let's not discuss the quality of face characters.
Yeah.
No, because don't get me started.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Who's next? Because I don't know the order. That's why I'm asking.
we got Julie.
Oh, it's me!
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, this is gonna sound funny, but I'm excited about this. Ferris and Finley will probably watch it with me too. But so the Disney Channel is going to be producing a movie that will feature the children of the Disney villains.
Oh.
The premise is this: Beast and Belle are going to rule over an idyllic kingdom with their kind teenage son, who looks to be taking the throne. And his first proclamation involves a shot at redemption for the misbehaving kids of Cruella de Vil. His name is Carlos. Maleficent is Mal. So I'm not sure if that's a boy or a girl. Kind of left me wondering.
Pat.
The Evil Queen has
bathroom did she
Evie.
go into?
And then also Snow White. The Evil Queen from Snow White. Her child's name is Evie. And then Jafar, his child's name is Jay.
Are they all single parents, or what's happening?
I know. It's like, who mated with these people in the first place? So
It's so
clinical.
Yeah. It's clinical. It is.
So the teenagers attend the kingdom's hottest prep school alongside other famous offspring, which will include the children of the fairy godmother, Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, and Mulan. And so the villainous teens are going to face a dilemma of nature versus nurture, and whether or not they will follow in their parents' footsteps or embrace their own inner hero.
This is animated, right? This isn't.
No, I think it's live action.
No, it's live action.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, that's neat.
And the movie's Emmy Award-winning director Kenny Ortega was the director and choreographer for High School Musical.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Disney Channel original.
It won't air
kinda
until
deal.
2015, but I'm really excited.
It's really cool. It sounds like the more Disney-fied version. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Disney movie Sky High, where it's like the kids of superheroes
Kurt
go to
Russell
high.
or-
Yeah, they go to high school.
I love Kurt Russell,
Yeah,
the horse in the gray flannel blanket.
I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I'm really excited.
Huh. Wonder if
I can't wait to see who they cast.
Angelina Jolie will make a cameo as
Oh,
Maleficent.
and seeing the trailer for that when we went to see Frozen, I'm even more excited.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
it looks good.
Why isn't she green?
Are you? What are you? Oh,
It just bothers me.
well, I guess they could have painted her, but
Elphaba.
she does look. She looks very pale, at least.
Yeah, and she's got like a really strong cheekbone jaw thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't know, it should be weird.
Cool. Well, thank you, Julie. I'm looking forward to that. Kathy?
Mine is Disney Quest New Year's Eve party, and it's New Year's Eve, 12/31.
If you don't know,
From 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., advance tickets are $55. If you purchase it the day of the event, it's $65. You can get it on the Disney website, or you can call 407-WDisney. You'll be able to play all the Disney Quest games, as well as attend 2 DJ dance parties and countdown to 2014 with a confetti drop and party favors. Woohoo! Character meet and greets will be available as well. Meet Chippendale, Buzz Lightyear, and Wreck-It Ralph. Prices include a voucher for, now get this, a grilled chicken sandwich. I mean, boy, they went all out.
Man, New Year's Eve has changed at Downtown Disney over the last
Yes.
15 years.
Grilled veggie wrap sandwich, cheesesteak sandwich, or a barbecue pork sandwich with a side salad or chips. And you get a cupcake or a fruit cup and a soda or a bottled water.
So many options.
Yes.
I know. I think, personally, I would go for the bottled water, I think.
But,
Yeah, but
I
not the
mean,
fruit
for
cup.
$55,
I would
I'm
just sneak in
sorry.
my own bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
In your leg flask.
Yeah. So if you want to do something fun for New Year's Eve, go to Disney Quest. I'll be home sleeping, but have fun.
I think it's a good idea for like tweens.
Yeah.
You know,
Very cool. Thank you, Kathy. Well, before we...
Hey,
oh, sorry,
hey.
Craig. I apologize. You have something very important, actually.
I do.
A lot of information.
It's breaking news this morning. Last week at the CityWalk press event, we actually found out that there was going to be details coming out very, very soon about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter expansion. And this morning, one thing that happened is Universal sent out press kits to everyone, letting them know that there was going to be an announcement made on the 23rd. And then Universal also released a really cool video, just short, like 30 seconds, with James Phelps, who plays Fred Weasley in the films. And he just announced, like, hey, guys, we're going to be finally unveiling all the information about the Wizarding World Diagon Alley on January 23rd at 10:30 in the morning. And then they also provide a link to the website that they're using for it. And if you go and sign up there and register for all their emails and stuff, you're going to be given a code so you can actually watch the live webcast with all the press and everyone else who's doing it. But it's going to be amazing.
or if you're as cool as Corey, you get the little box.
Oh, so jealous.
It was delivered this morning. I thought I saw the FedEx guy, but he like ran away. So I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't for us. And so I opened the door. I'm looking. I don't see anything. It was a tiny little box like this. And so I see it. I'm like, so he had just woken up. I'm like, here you go, hand delivering his little package from Universal. And he was like, oh my God, Craig is gonna love this.
Yeah,
It's a really beautiful key.
It's a key to the vault at Gringotts.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And of course, it's that because Gringotts Bank is going to be one of the attractions. And I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors about it, but people are going to be blown away with what they're doing. There's going to be a lot of controversy in some areas, but they're going to be absolutely
Controversy around diehard fans and what?
I think more about logistics of the park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of people coming into that area, and if you ever rode Jaws back whenever it was there, it wasn't a big area to begin with. Kind of the same way the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is now.
Right.
But it might be even more of a nightmare because they have tried to put so much in such a small area, but we'll only know once it's opened up, or once we see this announcement.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear more details about it.
I think Craig is turning into powder.
What do you mean?
Did you know that movie with that guy?
Yes.
He looks very pale.
Well,
Switch to yourself.
I've been staying out.
He does. Oh, but you don't look like that normally.
He doesn't look
looking
like
at
that
you
in
right
person,
here,
but on the camera.
lighting on you is like super pale.
Yeah, I've been staying out of the sun, and
It's
I've been
health.
trying.
This is winter
health.
white Craig.
The winter warlock, one foot in front of the other.
This is what gingers get like in the winter. So,
Oh my gosh. Well, all right. Well, thank you, Craig.
you're welcome.
I appreciate that. And sorry I forgot you.
It's fine. It's normal.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sorry. Well, before we move on to the wonderful buffet that we have in front of us, we do have the top 10 threads on the DIS boards for the month of November, and I wanted to go through those with you guys. And number 10 is Be Our Guest Lunch Fast Passes from the Disney Dining Forum. And apparently there's a website, beourguestlunch.disney.go.com, which is offering fast passes to be able to get into lunch for Be Our Guests. And that is creating some conversation on the boards. Our number 9 is, yes, touring Cinderella's Dream Suite was amazing. Another one of these popular ones, and I think it's because it's kind of this really detailed inside look at the Dream Suite. The original poster, Emmy's mommy, who actually got to do this, was selected and was staying in the Admiral Suite at the Yacht Club, and then I guess there's only one upgrade from that, I guess, and that's the Cinderella. But it's very, very detailed. I mean, the first post is well over, half the page.
Have any of you ever been in there?
I have. I know
No.
Corey got a chance to go in there.
I was
right?
with him. Yeah, it's
Oh.
really incredible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw it on the Travel Channel.
I mean, being able to touch all the stuff that's in there. Oh man, it's so cool.
I used to see the door to the elevator to it
Yeah.
in the bottom of the tunnels.
Yeah.
And you'd always see like people with suitcases, like cast members with suitcases bringing them stuff up there. It was always exciting because you'd always wonder who was actually going to stay
Yeah.
there. Remember the weekend Tom Cruise was here with Katie and Suri?
So they have VIPs that stay in there now that they're not offering it.
This
to-
was in 2009, so it was about 5 years
Yeah.
ago.
They
so.
do that every now and then, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hello, he's Tom Cruise. He has
Yeah.
bajillions of dollars. Like they're gonna say no.
Right. And the number 8 thread, which is on, it kind of starts a trend here in the top 10 threads. It's I'm done. Too many changes we don't like. And it's about somebody who is thinking about canceling their vacation because of all the hassles of FastPass Plus and My Disney Experience. You
Makes
look
me
like
roll my eyes.
Man, I rolled mine, and I'm the
It's just
queen
so
of eye rolling.
overdramatic.
and these kind of threads are getting a lot of traffic because people want to
Then
know.
if you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. Don't come.
Exactly.
Starting a coup.
I think it's important for people to be able to talk about
Oh, absolutely. I'm not-
their problems that they're having with this, but and it seems that these threads, this one, at least the original post, is not in as detail as some of the later ones, but these topics are very popular among people who, that's why people come to the DIS boards. They're trying to make those decisions. They're trying to get that information. But you're right. I hope people don't cancel their vacations because of this. But the number 7 thread is from the budget board. It's "You won't believe what I saw at the food bank." Now, this one is it's a kind of about a story, of a woman with she was volunteering at a food bank, and I think it's a woman. I'm not sure. I apologize, but the word "mom" is in her scream name. So.
The same.
She's volunteering at a food bank for the holidays and just kind of describing the different kind of people she sees there and who, she's helping. And then, of course, this is one of those kind of threads where everybody has an opinion on who should be at a food bank and who shouldn't. And so that's kind of why I think that one's popular. But there's a lot of really good stories in there too. A lot of really good sentiments about volunteering.
Like Golden Girls.
You know, well,
That episode where Stan...
I'm not familiar.
I'm overly familiar.
Okay. Let's see, what are we on here? Number 6. Is anyone else hugely entertained by the FastPass Plus tier system test? And this is Theme Parks and Board. And this is really the first time I'm hearing about a FastPass Plus tier system, but they have some information here. And, of course, people are talking about, when is it actually happening? What park is it going to be at? And, what are going to be the details of that? So it's become a very popular thread. Have you guys heard anything about this? Or what do you guys
I haven't,
think?
actually.
That there's some people that you got to go in and you got to pick your 3 that you wanted. So you could do like Test Track and Soarin' and what's another biggie at Epcot. But now it's like you can only
Grand
pick.
Fiesta Tour.
You can only pick one of those. You can only have like one of the headliners,
Oh,
and
I
then
see.
you
I didn't
have
know
to
it was
pick.
called tier. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like the old ticket books. Like you have one e-ticket attraction,
Right.
one. Okay.
But some people, depending on when they did it, got 3, biggies, and then it's Epcot and Hollywood Studios that are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have picked Toy Story Midway Mania and Rock and Roller Coaster, and can't think of the third one there
Tower
either.
Terror.
Tower Terror. But now you only get one. But the guy that's standing next to you in the line, depending on when he did it, he has 3.
It's some kind of like A/B testing. So
Yes.
there's a certain group of people that will get the top 3, and then some people will get
Well,
the...
no, now it's all gone to the tier. So you only get like one
You
of
only get
those,
one
and then you get
e-ticket.
the lesser
Oh, okay.
one. So, since Disney's still in testing for this, who knows where it's going to end up? Because that all this is going to change by the time they open it up to everybody. But people are upset about having a tier there.
Okay. Yeah, and I can understand that
Yeah.
because even with just regular paper fast passes, you could get whatever you wanted, and you could probably do it multiple times in one day, depending on the crowd. So I understand why people are upset about that in some ways. The number 5 is advisory. WDW Magic Band only testing begins at Disney's Pop Century Resort, and this thread, even though that's not necessarily true anymore, this thread has kind of been a place where people are talking about when they're coming, where they're staying, and trying to get updates of, is my resort going to be on this list,
Right.
and when will my resort that I've chosen be tested for Magic Bands. I'm sorry, that just sounded
That's
weird.
also very clinical.
When will my resort be tested? Made me laugh out loud. I'm sorry.
So this is kind of the issue that people are upset about, whether when you check in, you just get the Magic Bands, or if you get like the Key to the World card with it, the RFID. And I think
Yeah.
that I'm almost positive that you can just, if you prefer to have the card, you go to the front desk, you explain, I don't like how this feels, I don't want to use the Magic Bands, whatever. They'll give you a printout of your room key.
But I forget what the difference is, but it's not like the typical room key that lets you go get the fast passes. So there's something different with that alternate room key
Okay, so
that they
that's-
give you.
So they still want you to use that band.
So basically, everything's pointing to FastPass, legacy FastPasses being rolled out. They're closing the
Right.
machines in Animal Kingdom.
Right.
The
And the
key
other
they give
thing
you.
that makes it interesting now, I went to Pop Century the other day to drop something off for a client. And, usually when you get up to the thing and you put your room key in and the arm goes up and you can drive in,
Yeah.
you can't do that right now because your card, you don't have a card at like Pop Century to do that.
Yeah.
So you need to get over in the line where the guard is, and then you have to like touch your Magic Band to his little device, and then the arm goes up or whatever. And I went with just my driver's license because that's usually what you do. And the guys are like, oh, a driver's license. Like, I was so old school. So
I mean, they should have like where they could do it manually, lift the gate, right?
Well, yeah, they do.
But I guess now they want to, and they're doing that at the Auto Plaza too, because they're going to do away with your paper parking pass. So you're supposed to show your Magic Band to the cast member at the Auto Plaza.
Disney's just changing everything.
Yeah, and so the other yesterday. We went over and where they're like, okay, I could show my ticket, but in the name of research, let's see what happens when I hand the guy the magic band. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. And he had his little touch thing, and he tried to sign in, and it didn't work. And finally, he just went, oh, go ahead, go. So there's still, even cast members aren't up to speed on all this stuff yet. So there's a lot
They're probably a little frustrated, too. So
Yeah, so I said, it's just, I think you have to go with the attitude of things are changing. But once you get past that, the parks are still just as magical as they ever used to be.
Right.
Don't let that scare you away.
Change is a part of life, people.
Yep.
All right, and our number 4 thread is I finally canceled. Too much uncertainty for us. Now this one is again in that.
That's
in that
just
vein.
sad.
Yeah, your poor family.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if they knew about the trip and you have small children. Oh.
Like, I think there's something wrong with this person.
Yeah. This person.
But if I was their child, I would just be horrible. If you canceled my trip to Disney, I would be the worst child ever. I don't care about Christmas then.
If you read the original post, it's about FastPass Plus being an issue for them and My Disney Experience being an issue for them. But they say on the positive side, some really good ADRs just opened up for somebody. So, but again, this is another one of those threads, and people are getting uncertain about their vacations, and some people are canceling.
I wish that there would be a thread on the DIS about, I said I was never coming back, and I just went on my vacation or something, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like, check back with those people, because I'd be willing to bet you most of those people that say that now, they're going to be back.
Yeah, I would hope so. Try to find those positive stories, and hopefully those will continue to come. And as Disney works out these problems, I think we're going to hear more and more positive
That's
stories.
all sorts of little sayings popping into my head.
Feel free to share if you like.
Maybe not.
And number 3 is Here Now, and it is packed. So it's a person who is, was currently here.
I was about to say, I don't think they're here anymore.
Kind of just talking about the holiday crowds. And
Can I say on Saturday at Epcot was fabulous?
Really?
Because the last times that I've been to Epcot, it's been miserable and so crowded. But, I mean, we were there early,
Yeah.
But even throughout the day, walking around, it was not nearly as crowded as it has been, in my opinion.
These posts are one of the reasons why I got on the DIS boards in the first place. I loved seeing people talk about I'm here, and live, photo updates and live stories, and so I understand why these are popular, and it's one of the reasons I love the boards.
It's like a live blog trip report.
Yeah, yeah. And number 2 is a big change to FastPass Plus today. And they're basically, it's short. I'll read it. This is Shielby posted this. Okay, I just went to My Disney Experience to check if Illuminations got loaded for November, since Wishes and MSEP. What is MS?
Main Street Electrical Parade.
Main Street Electrical Parade finally became available last night. I started to go through the process of selecting all new attractions at Epcot, and My Disney Experience said I could pick one choice from a group of attractions and 2 choices from another group. In other words, either Soarin' or Test Track, but not both. So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And this is from November. So the majority of these threads, it's all about FastPass, all about My Disney Experience. And of course, number 1, yet again, and I think she's going to wrap up the year for us, but this is for November. We'll have December and January, is Disney College Program Frump Style. Number 1, yet again. Has she ever been number 2? Did she?
Yeah.
There was 1 month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for her.
Yeah. So
Even though I still don't understand.
well, it's kind of what I was just saying, is that while she was on her college program, this was extremely popular because it's those live in the park updates. Plus, she's a very interesting storyteller, and she had interesting stories to tell. So, yeah, still popular. Check it out. And these will all be in the show notes, right?
Yep, I'll link to them in the show notes.
Cool. So you can check the links out for all these threads, or you can go to the disboards.com and find other threads. whatever sparks your interest, maybe you can start one yourself. Yeah, so check it out. And that's disunplugged.com for our show notes. Okay, so that's the top 10 threads for November.
Can we eat?
We are now moving on to the piece de resistance.
Cookies!
Which is cookies.
Nom, 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 nom. Sorry.
I feel bad. First of all, Teresa didn't get to bring in whatever she was planning to make, and I'm sure they would have been really good.
I'm sorry. I don't want her tainted cookies.
No.
Hashtag flu cookies. Well, I feel really bad because this was kind of her big thing.
I know.
Like she's so excited about this.
I know, and I feel like I'm not going to do it justice the way that she could, but at least you're festive right now.
I have to say, she actually sent me the recipes and was like, choose from these. I didn't pick one myself. Does she do the same thing to you guys?
She had them printed out, and then she kind of had like our names on some of them, but she let us pick which ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I chose the easiest one in my
Let's
group.
kind of start with the history of this. A couple weeks ago, we asked everybody to send in your cookie recipes that you like for the holidays, and we'll make them and we'll try them. And the current development is that we've chosen, how many do we have?
I think we have 5 here.
We have 5 here.
Yes.
And if your recipe was chosen, then you get
a $25 gift card. Almost a
Disney one?
certificate. Yeah, Disney.
A Disney one? Yeah.
Yeah, Disney.
No, it'll be to the DIS Unplugged.
It'll be for the shirts.
You can buy
don't
one
say
for-
We
that.
don't make gift cards.
So we've chosen some. All the recipes are very unique, and all the preparation, I'm sure, was quite unique as well because everybody's a different style of cook or whatever. I wish I knew I was going to be a part of this sooner, and I could have contributed. But.
No, you don't.
You just want
Some
to
of
eat the
these were
cookies.
very time consuming.
They were.
So who wants to present first?
It doesn't matter. Do you want to go first,
I will.
Julie? Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
Julie will present.
Okay, so she had sent me 3 different recipes, and the first 2 that I read were very time intensive, and so I didn't choose those. Sorry, people. So I chose Rich Chocolate Chip Toffee Bars by Ms. Alicia on the boards. I'm sorry, but your real name wasn't anywhere in the email that I could find, so hopefully you're watching or listening.
Oh my gosh.
What is in mine would be flour, light brown sugar, butter, 1 egg, and it's only 3/4 cup of butter, so that's 1.5 sticks.
Oh my god.
So healthy.
2 cups of Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate Chips, and this is from HersheyKitchens.com, so I did use Hershey. I did not use Nestle.
Nestle Trollause.
Nestle.
You Americans butcher the French language.
And then
So
you
good.
can choose whatever kind of nut you want. I chose pecans. And 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and then also toffee bits. So it cost me $21.75 to make these. I did not have any of the ingredients in my house.
Oh, I just ate mine. I was going to show it off
Now
for the
that
camera.
you're reading your ingredients, that is almost exactly the same as what mine is, but it wasn't Hershey. It was another.
Did you use the yellow bag
I'm going
of chocolate chips?
Nestle.
That's Nestle
Yeah.
Toulouse.
wall here. I'm going to get up.
It was just referred to as a 7-layer cookie.
Yeah.
Like a
well,
magic
mine is
bar.
not 7 layers. But mine was super easy to do. Baked it at 350. It is in layers, but it only took me about an hour from starting the prep until they
It's
were
really.
done.
I like the bottom's almost like a shortbread. It tastes really good.
Well, because the bottom, what I did is it's the flour, some of the flour, some of the brown sugar, and the egg, and you mix all that up, and then you take some of the chocolate chips and some of the nuts. And then I press just a small
QVC.
amount into the bottom of it, the pan, and then you bake that for 10 minutes. And then once that bakes, you pour the condensed milk over the hot
okay.
bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And then you layer in all the chocolate chips and the rest of the nuts and everything, and then continue with the flour mixture that I press on the bottom, except you crumble it across the top. And then you bake that again, and then you sprinkle the top with the toffee chips again. So it's just layering and taking in and out, but it really wasn't that hard
The
at all.
condensed milk almost tastes like a caramel on top of it.
Well,
'cause
it
like,
basically
baked in
made it
yeah.
into like a, like it tastes like toffee.
Yeah.
So I had the toffee bits, but then the condensed milk plus all that other stuff together baking. Oh,
And it made enough for about 40 people, I think.
48 pieces.
Yeah.
So good.
And I have the calories. So
Oh, great.
one of the small 48 pieces is 190 calories. and 10 grams of fat.
Well,
Okay.
I already put on
They have 3
600
grams of
calories
protein,
today.
though, guys. Hooray!
Oh, wow.
So one serving is one tiny bite.
Yes. And some of them I made bigger, but they are really good.
I had 18 servings.
The condensed milk is what makes it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious.
Really good.
So, great job, Ms. Alicia.
Good recipe and great execution.
Thanks.
I give this 5 stars.
Wow.
I personally like mine the best, but hey.
All right, who next? Kathy?
Who next?
Who next? Where you be?
Kathy's going next.
Okay. I did 2 cookies. I did a peanut butter cookie and the 7-layer cookie. And I want to give the disclaimer that I am not a baker. If you need, we had this discussion before the podcast. If you need pots of soup made or like food for an army, I'm your person. I don't have the time or the patience to make cookies.
Good peanut butter.
But when we were picking what cookie to do, I picked the. Oh, here comes Dustin.
Teresa told me she made you. Did she make you do the peanut butter ones?
Well, I don't. My first another disclaimer. I don't like peanut butter. Just ugh. But I know family and friends do, so I made the peanut butter cookie. This is from Maria Hafner. Much Ado About Disney.
Switch to it. I want to see.
There's my.
They are good.
No, it's not about that. It's something else
It's-
entirely.
4 ingredients. It was very easy to do. It was an egg, a cup of sugar, a cup of peanut butter, and a teaspoon of baking powder. And then you just bake them at 375 for 10 minutes. Very easy to do. One of the things that seems to be the new way when you make cookies nowadays is you have to get the little like ice cream scooper that comes in the different sizes. And instead of rolling out the dough, I just took the ice cream scoop and put them down, and then you're supposed to take like a fork and put the little crosshatch
That's
in
my favorite
it.
part.
And they turned out good.
They're good.
I actually ate one in the name of research, and I'm still here to talk about it because, like I said, I don't like peanut butter, but this was a very easy recipe if you wanted to whip up some cookies. So
I have to ask you, because the recipe that I use, after you make your little ball of the dough, did you roll it in sugar again?
no, this one didn't call
That's
for that.
it. Okay,
I
because we're
roll it
talking
in
about the
sugar again.
fork cross section, right? You do on the top.
Usually I roll it in sugar first,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I do the fork cross section.
See,
Yeah, that's
no,
what we do,
I wanted to go by what the recipe
Right.
was because I didn't know how militant we were going to be about,
Extremely militant.
Yes.
As Craig will show you.
So the next cookie, as I hand it to my lovely assistant, these are the 7-layer cookies, and I was excited to do this one because I used to get the box mix. It was Eagle brand, because I know you and I talked about that. And they took them off the market for some reason a couple years ago. There was a problem with it or whatever. So to actually have the recipe, because I had been looking for this and didn't know what to call it. And I've heard magic bars, whatever. So
Magic.
these have, it's a stick of butter with, it's got a graham cracker crust. You can use, they said you could use Teddy Grahams.
Getting a little shaky there.
So switch cameras. It's awful. This segment's gonna win an award.
Hard-hitting news. So then you just layered the different items. It was coconut, regular chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips, then butterscotch chips, and sweetened condensed milk, and then pecans on the top. So it's very easy. You just layered it. You put it in the oven at 350 for about 35 minutes. You let it cool, and then you cut it. And I like it because you got a lot out of like one pan. And when you eat one of the little squares, it fills you up.
Yes.
But it's very easy. It stores well.
It tastes very different from mine because of the coconut. And I used special dark. I didn't use semi-sweet.
And see,
And you also have the butterscotch, which I think adds a really nice flavor.
Butterscotch is good.
yeah, and I guess what I would do different, and maybe that's because I'm used to the box, is maybe not put the whole, because I doubled the recipe, and I used a whole bag of
Oh, you
each.
doubled that recipe? Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking, can I cut mine in half?
Well, because I knew that I
Yeah.
liked these, so whatever was left, I could have at home.
They're really good, Kathy.
Yeah, they are good.
This is from Mike and Mandy at it's Michael York, but I really enjoyed these, and I said they sent another recipe, but I didn't do that one. But this is a family favorite, so those are mine.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So next, I guess we're gonna go with Sean's.
All right, mine's a little involved. I went full blown Ina Garten and brought still shots of each process. So
Wow.
mine is.
I love it.
Yeah, that was step one. So mine is from Kim Wells, and these are sinfully delicious brownies. And here she says, I would love to contribute my cookie recipes, but they're also boring, chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, etc. However, if you want a different dessert for the holidays, make these. So then she sends this recipe for sinfully delicious brownies. And I went to the store and spent $25 on things for this because I had nothing. There was like marshmallows and all kinds of stuff. An entire jar of peanut butter went into these brownies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So basically you make the brownie batter. You melt butter, whatever, cocoa powder. Then you add like an egg mixture with another type of other sugar. Then you add the flour and stuff, and you make this like nice batter. And then you bake the brownies. So that's a couple pictures from here. Yeah, I used the
have one of
KitchenAid.
those?
I did,
Wow.
yeah. Actually, it's Williams, but I used it.
Secrets.
Yeah, so then you make so that's the brownie in the pan. So then you bake it, and then you have to let it cool completely. And then the most amazing step was emptying an entire jar of peanut butter into a bowl. Which was the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life.
And you use Peter Pan. Aww.
Well, it was BOGO at Publix, so I had to. So then you put it in the microwave, and you let it melt.
Well, that's your
That's not the
refrigerator.
microwave.
If that's your microwave, we have to have a talk.
we need to have a talk.
I keep stuff in there, isn't that right?
Yeah.
So essentially, then you pour the melted peanut butter on top of the brownies. Then you stick it in the fridge. We're way too ahead with the pictures. Calm down.
I'll back
Go back to
you're
the
up.
fridge.
All right, so then you put the melted peanut butter on top of the brownies. Put it in the fridge. You let it harden for like an hour and a half. You have to let the peanut butter turn into a solid. Then you make a frosting to go on top of this, which is milk, cocoa powder, cut up butter, another stick of butter, because 2 wasn't enough in the brownies. Then you chop up marshmallows, which I've never heard of, putting it in a thing. The marshmallows were an ingredient. So then you melt those into the mixture, whatever. And then you add 2 cups of powdered sugar and you get a frosting and you pour them on top of the brownies.
I guess the marshmallow is what makes the frosting like fluffy.
It is fluffy and shiny too.
Yeah.
It made a nice kind of like fudgy
So good.
texture. So then you refrigerate it for another hour and a half, whatever. And that's the knife stuck in it because they are so thick and rich.
Yes, it's more like a cake.
It is like a cake or fudge. I mean, these are the thickest brownies I've ever had. But they're delicious. They really are.
They are so good.
I have a picture of a cross section of them there. You can see the different layers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I think I cut them too big, actually. I think
Yes,
they need to
you
be
did.
very small.
These should be in half, maybe
That's what I
even in
thought.
quarters.
Yeah. But they are really, really delicious.
So make them
Kim
bite
was
size.
right.
People just pop them in.
Yeah.
Put them on toothpicks.
Again, and you stuck pretty close to the original
There was only
recipe.
the only thing I changed was she called for crunchy peanut butter, which meant there would have been like little peanuts in that layer.
I don't like crunchy peanut butter.
I thought smooth would have been better, so that's what I went with.
That's a personal.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a personal preference. Yeah.
Crunchy peanut butter.
But overall, they're very successful. I loved them. They're going to feed 1,000 people because
You did great.
thank
You're
you.
like,
Or one
Jesus.
lonely night.
He multiplies. The brownies are like multiplying.
You need a glass of milk for sure to go with them.
Yeah.
But they were good. Thank you, Kim.
Yes, thank you. That was awesome. Craig.
This is fun.
Well, as everyone now knows, I am a master
just make it fly
storyteller,
around.
and I'm not a baker in any ways. I love to cook. I don't bake at all. I'm like Kathy. It takes way too much time. It doesn't really suit my fancy. So my recipe came from Jennifer Fredericks. And she had this really awesome idea called a Inception cookies after the movie, which I love the movie, so it worked out perfectly. And what she does is
So Christmassy.
It is, yeah. It's
my favorite
nothing
Christmas
like Leonardo DiCaprio for the holidays.
Hanukkah Ellen Page.
But it's chocolate chip cookies with an Oreo stuffed in it. And
I have to say though,
sorry,
there are
I'm like-
no chocolate chips on my cookie.
oh, you know what? Can I finish my story?
They just look like they've turned into bacon.
Okay, so, and I won't lie to anyone here because you're all my friends, whether or not we've met yet. I don't have a lot of stuff to make baked goods. It's not something I do, and I didn't have time to do it last night whenever I did it. So what I did, instead of making chocolate chip cookies with Oreos stuffed in them, I went out and bought the cheapest roll of Pillsbury sugar cookies, and then I found the mint Oreos that they have at Walmart, and I kind of shoved them inside there, and then I cooked them, and the monstrosities that came out of it looked like this.
And they're fried egg cookies.
I promise, it doesn't do it justice.
They look like flying saucers.
Yeah, they look horrible, and...
Here, would you like to see me bite it?
I think they would have been good 8 hours ago.
Yeah. I made a lot of mistakes in
They
this.
are good, even though they
taste
hard.
They do. They're minty. They're good.
Yeah.
But they're a little hard.
So, yeah, first off, if you make cookies, don't leave them uncovered overnight. They'll get very, very brick hard. Second, if you bake the Andes peppermint white chocolate chips, if you put them in the oven for like 15 minutes at 350, they're going to look like bacon bits. But they still taste like mints. And, you're going to be left with just a really hideous outcome. But they
do
taste like
good.
mint.
They do.
And they're a substitute for brushing your teeth, if that's your thing. And
Because their teeth fall out. Is why.
so I just have to hope that we never have to do this again, because I don't like it.
We have to do it again with Teresa.
Yeah, she
will.
deserves that.
Yeah.
I'll take that week off and do something else.
make a
Oh,
stew.
Christmas is a whole year away.
Goody.
Got to tell you though, this has been a lot of fun, and looks like you guys had fun.
It was
making
fun.
it. Yeah.
I have to admit, I really didn't want to make them at first. I was like, really? Ugh. But then it's been fun.
I just feel like I need to apologize to Jennifer one more time for not following her recipe, but enjoy the gift card. I'm
That's all that matters.
Maybe if you ever come down to Florida, you can hand deliver your actual cookies so we can try them, because I would just screw it up.
Well, again, everybody that the recipes that we chose, they're all going to get a $25 Disney gift card. And this has been a lot of fun. Again, I apologize to Teresa. I know you had a lot planned here, and I wish you could have been here for that. But this was a lot of fun, one way or the other.
It was fun.
That is going to do it for our episode today. We hope you had a great time watching, and we hope you guys all have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas and whatever.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus.
Happy New Year.
Kwanzaa.
New Year.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Everything you celebrate. We hope you have a good rest of the year, and we'll see you again in 2014.
Yeah. See you next year.
At 2 p.m. on Tuesday. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the year.